No longer time, let's just discuss the topic. Okay. No longer time, let's just discuss the topic. In a few fast decades, technology grows rapidly, and use of technology is also increased drastically. It affects the life of people and changes the way of learning, thinking, and communicating. It plays a major role in our society. Our society is shaped by technology, which has both beneficial and harmful consequences. Okay, so before we go to the main topic, do you guys know what is the meaning of society or what is the meaning of technology? If you don't know, no worries, because I'm here to explain it to you. So, society is a group of people that live together in a community. That includes some form of government, along with some rules and economy. And technology is defined as a body of knowledge that deals with the innovation, invention, application, and technical needs, as well as their interrelationship with life, society, and the environment. Before we go to the main topic, first, let's talk about the social issues first. Do you know what is the social issues of technology? The first one is identity theft. Identity theft means using the identity of some other person by getting his financial or information in a fraud manner to commit a crime. The second one is the effects for health and fitness. Using a lot of internet can lay an impact for our health and fitnesses. It may impact your eyesight, your backbone, and the other things. The third one is cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is the use of technology to bully, abuse, or criticize another person not from your mouth, but from your fingers, and it spreads while on the internet. And the last one is defamation of character. Defamation of character is the act of transmitting of false information in order to do serious harm to another person. Now, done about talking the points, I'm going to show you what is the example of each point that I'm talking about. So, the first example is a Philip Cummings that stole 33,000 of credit reports, which cost victim about 15 until 100 million. At the time it happened, Philip Cummings was responsible for the largest identity thefts in U.S. history. Cummings worked as a help desk in a software company in Long Island. After quitting, he took a spreadsheet containing customer login credentials. Between 2001 until 2002, he sold customers' credit reports to scammers for around $30 each. The criminal he sold the sensitive information to needed between $15 until $100 million from roughly 3,300 customers. Although he claimed he didn't know the con artist would take that much money, the judge said that he caused the almost unimaginable damage. The second example is the cyberbullying one. So in this case, I'm going to talk about Zheng Lihua. Linghua is a woman from China that commits suicide because she was constantly bullied about her appearance. The woman, Zheng Linghua, is known as a pink-haired girl on social media. Zheng Linghua became a victim of cyberbullying in July 2022 after she uploaded photos and videos of herself proudly displaying her acceptance letter to graduate school. Many bullies judge her appearance and even call her as nightclub lady and associated with prostitution because of her pink hair. Some netizens also spread rumor if Zheng Lihua is involved in a relationship with her own grandfather. As reported by Nick Shark, Zheng trying to confront her bullying with a positive attitude. However, on January 23, she died by suiciding herself after 6 months facing bullying. Last example that I'm going to show you is the formation of character. In this example, I'm not going to tell you about the cases, but I'm going to show you the example. So the example is like when a customer order a food or a drink by e-commerce or online shops and accuse the owner for food contained poisoning stuff, even though it was not actually the owner's food that caused them to be ill. So if the customer shared a false information about the business with the other customers, the owner could have grounds for defamation in lawsuit. Okay, so that's the example and the cases of each point of the social issues. Now let's talk about the cultural issues. Talking about the cultural issues, our culture has been radically transformed by technology. Many people now find it difficult to conduct a face-to-face chat. People using their phones, tablets, or computers to spend time with their buddies. Although individuals now evaluate others based on how technologically they are. Nowadays, listening to music is preferred than listening to another person. Most individuals nowadays prefer the internet because that is all they have ever known. Cell phone with touchscreens all the rage these days. Technology just separate people from actuality. People nowadays lack the ability to interact in real-life situations such as individual connection, problem solving, and adult action. Okay, maybe that's the point that I could give you guys. Now, I'm going to take this presentation to Nora as a second speaker that will talk about the positive impacts of technology. Okay.
Thank you, Almira. Hello, audience. I'm Nora. We present about the positive effects of technology. So, basically, technology has a more positive effect on humans or society as compared to negative. It makes our life easier and rewards us by providing resources, a tool that makes our life much easier. Following are some positive changes that technology brings to our life are improving communication. Communication is the most important part of society. We build our transfers our thought with each other help with the help of communication. Earlier, people used pigeons or birds to transfer their message to their loved ones. After the technology tools and the medium of transferring information changed to mobile phones, email, WhatsApp. Nowadays, we send message to loved ones or known people by via email and many other social media platforms such as WhatsApp, Instagram, or Twitter. It is the fastest, efficient, and effective medium way so that people can talk or share information with their loved ones easily, even if they are very far away from. Secondly, is to improve education and learning process. We can see why technology is improving our learning process. An example of classroom. This online meeting also use technology. For what? For having our learning progress and also to share our thoughts about this up to you. And this application that we're using right now. It is also an example of technology, which means technology enhances the education and learning process. Nowadays, people can easily enhance their knowledge using the internet. Most of the data is present on the internet is free of cost, and you can access this data anytime and anywhere. Thirdly, is to mechanize agriculture. Technology changed the working mechanism of farmers. Lots of machine and technical instruments were introduced in the agricultural area, which makes farming very easy, effective, and automated. Like as we know that in a few years ago, the farmers would flood the fields using livestock, animals such as buffalo and cows. But as the technology increasing sophisticated, now there are many substitute transportation for livestock such as tractor, etc. Last but not least, is making it easy to access information. We can easily access information via internet anytime and anywhere. Most of the information is present on the internet are pre-closed, except that you still need to buy a data to access internet. So you can use them enhance your knowledge and skills. That's all for the positive. Let's move on to the negative sides of the internet that will be by our third speaker of this group. Hello, Afghan. The change is yours now.
Okay, thank you so much, Nora. Hello, audience. I'm Afghan as the third speaker, and I'm going to talk about the negative sides of technology of human society. As we know that everything. Oh, sorry. As we know that everything present on this planet has both advantage and disadvantage. The same goes for technology. If technology has a positive impact on society, it also have a negative impact on society. Those are negative impacts are, okay, the first one, increase the unemployment. Nowadays, large and small business are technical equipment because of their low costing and high efficiency, due to which the rate of unemployment is increasing continuously. Second one, increase in pollution. Not only human but technology also affecting our environment. Due to vehicles and machinery, the rate of pollution increased continuously, which caused global warming. Like these days, or maybe now, Maybe some or all of you have heard the air pollution in Jakarta. Launched from CNN News Indonesia, one of the factors of air pollution in Jakarta caused by transportation that held 67%. And the second one is the industry that caused 27% of all the factors that cause the air pollution. Third one, increase in health mental concerns. Nowadays, technology affecting the physical as well as mental health of human beings. It makes people lazy, emotionally weak, sleeping problems, reduce physical activity. Also, people are spending less time with their family and friends. Some research has indicated that the use of technology in general, especially the internet, actually can be connected with development of mental health conditions, such as anxiety and depression in some individuals. The last one, increase in cybercrimes. Due to excess of the internet, the rate cybercrimes are also increased. Some people or attackers harm people, innocent people, or children like money or fun. For companies and business, there are many threats from cybercrime, like company data thief, em- employee data thief, and the most harmful is consumer data thief. Actually, there is still a lot of material regarding about this topic, but maybe that's all that I could tell about the negative impact of technology on the society. Now I'm gonna return it to the control to Almira, who will close this presentation.
Okay, thank you so much, Afghan, for the presentation. Okay, all, as you can inform for our presentation, I would like to say thank you and don't forget to always use technology smartly so it doesn't affect a negative impact for us all. Instead, we can make the technology is more useful for this era, for our society, and for our own self. Okay, now I would like to give back this to the moderator, Katisa. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Almira. Wow, that was a very amazing presentation from Group 1. Well, I see there's Mr. Ichak who has joined this meeting. We'd like to greet you and thank you for joining this meeting. So yeah, please give them a round of applause for Group 1's presentation. That was very amazing. Now, if you have any questions for Group 1's presentation box in this meeting, okay? Please write them and then your answer will be a session after the performance are finished. Now, let's move on to the second performance of Group 2. I'm curious about what's your topic and subtopic for today, Group 2. Can you tell me about it?
Okay, first of all, thank you, Carissa, for giving me time. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, people. We, as the second team of today's Pesat Speaks Up, will be presenting a very interesting topic. Our topic is none other than culture, the color of the world.
Wow, very cool about culture. I see. So we can wait to see your performance, Group 2. The time is yours. You may start now.
Okay. Now, maybe you are familiar to this topic because living in Indonesia and with its vast and diverse culture, how can you miss it? Before we start, I would like to introduce my teammates and what they're going to present. First, we have myself presenting on what, such as what is culture, and their examples. Second, we have Miss Rina presenting on why, such as why is it the color of the world. Third, last but not least, we have Farel presenting the summary of our presentation. Without any further ado, let's begin. Next slide, please. And next again. So, what is culture? We may be familiar with culture, but what is it? Next slide. Culture can't just be defined as such answer. Everyone has their own answers, and just like culture itself, the answer is diverse. From Indonesia to Japan to Turkey, then to Greece, and so on. Culture is diverse. Out of 195 countries in the world, every single one of them has their own unique style. Here are some definitions from the experts. Boston University states that culture is all the ways of life, including arts, beliefs, and institution of a population that are passed down from generation to generation. Culture has been called the ways of life for an entire society. On the other hand, Wikipedia states that a set of pattern of human activity within a community or a social group and the symbolic structures that give significance to such activity. Customs, laws, dress, architectural style, social standards, and traditions are all examples of cultural elements. And last but not least, we have UNESCO states that instead of distinctive spiritual, material, intellectual, and emotional features of a society or a social group that encompasses not only art and literature, but lifestyle, ways of living together, value systems, traditions, and beliefs. Next slide, please. After hearing some definition of culture, you might be wondering what are some examples of culture? There are a lot of examples of culture, from the polite and humble people of Japan to the rich and beautiful traditional arts and crafts of Indonesia, to the unique cuisine, music, and art of Turkey. The list goes on and on. Culture isn't just a lifestyle. It is everything from the way we talk, interact with people, food, clothes, etc. And I'll be passing this on to Nisrina. Nisrina, the time is yours.
Thank you so much, Hiram. It's my pleasure. First of all, please next slide. Why is culture the color of the world? Why? How it got the name? First and foremost, God created us to be different with our own uniqueness so that we can all exchange stories, live together in harmony, and thrive with colors from every single one of our different lives. And to put that into global scale, culture is the thing that makes us different. Culture is what gives us color. It's what makes us beautiful. And that's why culture is the color of the world. Next slide, please. What would the world be without color? What would happen if we don't have culture? Next slide, please. Can you imagine a world without color? A world with only black and white. A world where everyone is exactly the same as one another. It sure looks boring. Not only that, but culture is our natural resource. Culture is sharing together. Culture is how we express ourselves. Our limited creativity, our thirst for knowledge. We need culture, and culture needs us. And a world without culture is a world without a future, because culture is one of the key points in staying alive. Without it, we wouldn't become what we are today. And lastly, let me give this thought to Farrell so he can conclude it.
And to sum everything that both of my friends said, culture is all the way of life, a lifestyle to a society, a set of patterns from human activity, including customs, laws, dress, architectural style, social standards, and an intellectual and emotional feature of society or a social group that encompasses not only art and literature, but lifestyle, tradition, and belief. Culture could be anything from the way we talk, the way we greet people, the way we interact with people, to foods, architecture, clothes, and so on. Next slide, please. We should be thankful because with culture, our world becomes more colorful and beautiful, and not black and white. Not only that, but culture is what makes us today. It helps us to survive and letting us thrive in diversity. And with that, I'm giving it back to our friend Carissa. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Group 2. That was a very cool performance. Now, since all the groups have finished their performance, we can go ahead to the next session, the Q&A session. So in this section, we actually have two parts. The first section is only for the presenters, and the second one is for the observers. So in the first session, the presenters from Group 1 or Group 2 can each ask questions of a maximum of 3 questions. So, and then special for the observer, you can write your question in the chat box and I'll call your name after that. So, let us open the first part of the Q&A session. The presenters of Group 1 and 2 will get a chance to ask a maximum of 3 questions to the opposite group and they will answer your questions. I'll give the chance for Group 1 to ask their questions to Group 2. Group 1, you may ask your questions.
Okay, is it clear now? Because we're talking about culture, so culture is coming from many separated islands and countries, of course. But before we split up into many countries and islands that we're in now, we are a one big island, and it was called the Pangea Island. My question is, while our island is still united, or when our island is still called Pangea, is there already had a cultural diversity, or like they live with like the same colors, same customs, and same holiday way of living? If it had one, what are kind of diversity and culture that they have? Thank you.
Okay, I would like to answer the question. So when the supercontinent Pangea was still around, humans haven't existed yet, thus there is no culture. And back then, the only living thing consists of bacteria, fungi, plants, insects, amphibians, reptiles, saurians, and the early mammals. And also the first birds. That is all. Is it clear?
Almira,
Yes, thank you.
Is there any other questions from Group 1 or Group 2?
I would like to answer. I would like to give a question to group 1. As we all know, there are some positive and yet negative feedback on technology. But may I ask, is it better to have technology or not? Let's say if technology would disappear today for 24 hours, what would happen? Human is known for their reliability to technology. What will happen if that technology would just vanish? And for my main question is, what would the current world be if technology just disappeared? Hello.
I want to answer.
Group 1, you may answer Group 2's question.
For myself, the world is better with technology. When someone says that technology can change your life or could bring negative effect, it actually depends on how you use it. It can bring a beneficial or negative effect for yourself. But with technology, it could make our life more easier. We can go anywhere, we can text anyone without actually seeing them if they're far away from us. Also, we can do and solve many things easier. So that's why I think that our life could be better if we have technology. And the second one, as you can say that human is known for their reliability to technology. And also technology is used at many kinds of fields right now, such as medicine field, economics field, politics field, and other fields. And if you ask if human can live without technology or not, then I'm going to answer it as no. Because technology is really needed by humans to live their life in this era. From the simplest thing like searching for an information about something, communicating with a friend, and many more. For your main questions, what could happen if technology disappears or maybe never exists in this world? Maybe we could have felt like we're all living in ancient times, where there was no such thing as a technology with all the limitation of science and knowledge. We had to survive in a free world. Also, humans will live in a nomadic life or move around following the abundant supply of foodstuff and provide for their life by hunting, which means humans will depend heavily on nature. Is it clear?
It's very clear. Thank you.
Is there any more question from group 2?
I would like to ask a simple question, please, for group 1. Can you give me some like negative example of the technology for current music industry? And that's all. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna answer that. Okay. Additionally, there are ethical concerns surrounding AI generated music and issues of copyright. As AI algorithms are trained on large datasets of existing musics, is a risk of plagiarism or copyright infringement, and when AI generated compositions resemble existing copyright works. That's all. Is it clear?
Okay, thank you, Afghan.
Okay. Is there any question from group 2? One more.
Yes, I would like to ask a question. As your PowerPoint say, the negative impact of technology is increasing the number of unemployment. How can you solve that problem, or how do you deal with it?
I will answer the question. First, conduct training for affected workers. Second, creating employment by the government. Thirdly, implementing educational and training reforms. And the last is development of labor productivity. Is it clear enough?
Yes, that's clear.
Okay, thank you so much for the presenters for asking questions and answering them very clearly. Now, that was a very amazing start for our Q&A session. Before I start the second part, I'd like to welcome everyone who has just joined this video conference. Now, since the part 1 of the Q&A session has ended, I will start the second part of the Q&A session. It is time for the observers' questions in the chat box to be answered by the presenters. I will start to read the chat box first, okay? Now, so I see there's Siti Fatima Azahra from group 1. Oh, wait, the question is for group 1. So the question is, how do we use technology effectively for education purposes? I will give the time for group 1 to answer Zara's question.
Okay, I'm gonna answer this one. So you said that the question is how we use technology effectively for education purposes. So several tips for this question is choosing technology that align with your teaching goals. That is the first one. And the second one is integrate technology seamlessly into your lesson plans. The third one is to provide clear instruction and support. And for the last step is to monitor and access student progress. That is all. Is it clear, Zara?
Is the answer clear enough for you, Zahra?
Yes, that's enough for me. Thank you, Amira.
Thank you so much for your question, Zara. Now let's move on to the second question from Jasmine Larissa Chandra for group 2. This question will be for group 2, okay? Now, the question is, out of all the culture in the world, what is your favorite or what interests you in the most interests you the most outside of our culture, which is Indonesia? Group 2, you may answer Jasmine's question.
I would like to answer first. Me personally, I really like Japanese architectural. It is very minimalistic and somewhat beautiful. And don't forget, they also have some very distinctive art, unique style, and like the Great Wave of Kanegawa and so much more. That is very beautiful, and personally, I love them. Okay.
Okay, so Japanese culture. How about the other presenter from group 2?
For me, I love Japanese culture too, but mostly I love their traditional clothing, the kimono. And for our own culture, Indonesia, I really like our batik. I think it's really unique and it shows like what we are. It shows Indonesia.
Okay, thank you. Is your question answered clearly? Jasmine?
Yes, I'm very satisfied with it.
Okay, let's move on to the next question. It's from Putri Anggia. Oh, wait. Never mind. Let's start with Tara's question first for group 2. So the question is there any country without no culture at all?
Okay, very well. Then I would like to answer that. And from my research is, well, every country has their own culture. So there isn't any country who has with no culture at all. Every country has one, at least one. It is unique and distinctive to them. That's all.
Thank you, Hiram, for answering. Is the answer clear enough for you, Tara? Thank you so much for your question, Tara. Now, let's move on to the next question for group 1. It's from Putri Anggia. The question is how to avoid the negative impact of technology. Group 1, you may answer the question.
Okay, thank you, Carissa. I'm gonna answer Anggi questions. How can we reduce the use of technology? The first one, enjoy your food. Make your eating time no screen time. Second, set the screen time limit. Set your computer and mobile time limit. The third one, stop compulsive checking of emails and social media. The fourth one is screen less driving. The fifth one is fun alternative to technology. And this last one is get some go outdoors. Yeah. Okay, that's all. It's clear, Andy? Is it clear?
Is the answer clear enough for you, Anggi? Okay, since Anggi cannot turn on her microphone, let's move on to the next question. Now, the next question is from Rafael Tarigan. Wow, this is a very long question. The question is for group 1. Can you tell me the right way to deal with cyberbullying? In his opinion, you can deal it with just turn off your devices or delete your account and make the new one. But seems that method isn't that effective. So, can you tell me the most effective way? Group 1, you may
I
answer.
will answer the question. Strategy 1, don't respond immediately. The aim of a lot of cyberbullying is to annoy, upset, or confuse the person who is being targeted so that they react emotionally. If you're being cyberbullied, keep in mind that person who's targeting you wants to respond. A good strategy for dealing with this is not to give them what they're looking for. If someone says something to you online, tags you in a photo you don't like, or just generally does something unkind, put down your phone for an hour's on. Take the time to give yourself some emotional distance and think careful before you respond. Strategy 2, take screenshots. Screenshots are the best way for you to report an instance of cyberbullying. After all, the person who cyberbullied you may delete their comment photo when they realize that it might get them in trouble. Screenshot will ensure you always have a copy of what was said. If you take screenshot on chat, the other person will be notified that you did so. Strategy 3, report and block. Most social media sites want to help you feel safe online. They don't want you to experience cyberbullying either, so they have a lot built into to keep you safe. If you've exhausted the reporting and blocking option within your social media firm and things are still really bad, you can make a report to say to the safety commission. Is it clear enough?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for your question, Rafael Tarigan. So, before I move on to the next question, I think we should interact more with the participants. So, the next question from Danisha, I'd like to ask Danisha to turn on your microphone and ask the question personally in the video conference. Please, you may open your microphone to ask your question.
Okay, Carissa. Hello, my name is Anissa Aviratama, and I have a question for Group 2. Are there any culture-related issues or problem before? And if there is any, can you give me some example? Thank you.
So yeah, it's about any culture-related issues, problems. Okay, so the question is for Group 2. Group 2, you may answer your question.
Allow me to answer Denisha's questions. Yes, there have been cultural problems before, and let me give you some examples. First, there's differing business practices, there's language barriers, religion differences, and labor demographics. And lastly, one of the last examples is claiming other countries' culture. Are you satisfied with your answer, Denisha?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your question, Danisha. So the next question is from Kak Felicia from 11 Pioneer. I would like to ask Kak Felicia to turn on your microphone and video to ask the question personally. It's okay. It seems that Kak Felicia cannot turn on her microphone. So let me read your question. So the question is from Group 1. What can the government do to avoid the negative impact of technology to society? Group 1, you may answer. the question.
Okay, I'm gonna answer this question for Felicia. What the government can do to reduce the negative impacts of technology for our society. So maybe there's a several impact, and also I'm gonna impress my opinion of what that can government do to technology. The first one is encouraging and investing in R&D. R&D is a process by which new products and services are developed, and it requires a significant amount of resources, both financial and human. One of the most important ways in which government can encourage technological innovation is by investing in ERG. The second one is supporting entrepreneurship and startups. The fundamental forces behind technological projects in the nation are its entrepreneurs and startups. This backbone responsible for generating and disseminating new technologies frequently confront formidable obstacles in their early stage due to lack of government support, adequate infrastructure, and funds. The third one is developing a strong intellectual property framework. Intellectual property, or IP protection, is essential for rapid technological innovation, and it not only helps companies to attract investment and grow their business, but also provides a competitive advantage to innovative companies. The fourth one is building digital infrastructure and providing regulatory support. Building in digital infrastructure such as high-speed internet is another crucial step for enabling technological innovation. Okay, maybe that's the way we can reduce technology in our life as a government. Is it clear enough, Felicia?
Thank you so much for your answer, Almira. So, is the answer clear enough? Thank you so much for your question, Alicia. So now, let me check in the chat box. Is there any more question? Oh yeah, and not to forget, there's also a presence form in the chat box, and every participant must fill it. Thank you. Well, it seems that there's no more questions for the two groups. Since everyone has answered the questions, please give a big applause for all of them. That was very open-minded.
Sorry, Karisa. Can I ask?
Before we end the Q&A session, is there any addings from Pak Iwan Cakrayana?
Okay, Ms. Chika, can I make a conclusion and then maybe ask two question for this group?
Sure, sir.
Okay, thank you, Karisha, as a moderator for today's presentation. First of all, I want to give a big round of applause for Group A and B for the presentation. Okay. First of all, the honorable, all the teachers, and all my beloved students. I just want to say that, in my opinion, about these two groups for the presentation, I think this is a solid presentation. Okay, from PowerPoint design, and then how host and moderator handle the situation in this presentation. I really love it. And then and also for all the participants that's very active to ask and then discuss about the theme. I think that's very important for this webinar can get the maximum impact for you all. I think for you all, I will give you all A+ maybe for the point. Okay. For Group A, I want to give maybe for Group A one question, and then for the Group B is one question. For Group A, can Group A explain to us what kind of technology can make a positive impact and negative impact to our society for long term. Okay, can you get it the question? Okay, for group A, what kind of technology can make a positive impact and negative impact to our society for long term? Okay, that's my question for group A. And then for the second group, you all talking about culture, the color of the world. My question is, based on your knowledge about culture, what makes Indonesian culture is totally different with culture in another country? Okay, I repeat, my question is, based on your knowledge about culture, what makes Indonesian culture is totally different with culture in another country? Okay, that's all for me. So last but not least, you all doing great in this Pesat Speak Up. So congratulations for you all. Thank you, Miss.
Pleasure, sir.
Okay, Karisha, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Iwan Cakrayana. We all very appreciate your questions. So I think group 1 and 2 can answer Mr. Iwan's question.
Okay, so I'm gonna answer Mr. Dr. Iwan Cakrayana's question. So the question is, what kind of technology can bring positive and negative effects for our life, right? So for myself, it's cell phones, because cell phones can make our communication easier. Like, we can communicate with people without even seeing them online. So that is the positive one. But the negative sides of phones is if they like play it in, wait, I forgot. If using our cell phone without like over time, or we use all, wait, I'm sorry. If we use our cell phone like over time, or we're not in di batasan waktu yang tepat, if that in English, I'm sorry, I forgot. I just lost my. So that's why cell phone is so that's why cell phone has beneficial and harmful effects for our life. So when we did, that is the one kind of technology that can bring negative and positive impact for our life. Thank you. Is it clear, Mr. Dr. Iwan?
Okay, but I think you forgot about the keyword for my question is for long term. So what's the impact from technology that can make positive and negative impact for long term? So not only for today, but maybe in 10 years later, or maybe 15 years later. Maybe what kind of technology that can impact in long term in our society? That's the point of my question. You can explore more about your answer. Thank you.
So I'm going to answer. So the technology that is useful for the long term is, these include electronic medical report or EMR system, medication tracking, fall and motion sensors, and resident Wi-Fi. It's become critical for health and safety that these technologies are built upon the relatable IT infrastructure and are supported by experts that get guarantee that they run smoothly. Okay, maybe that is it clear enough, Mr. Dr. Iwan?
Okay, Okay, that's clear for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your answer, Amira. So, group 2, can you answer Ms. Iwan's question?
To answer Mr. Iwan question, in my opinion, what makes Indonesian culture is different with the others is Indonesian culture is known for its rich and beautiful traditional art and craft that are deeply rooted in diverse culture of Indonesia. Some of the notable art and crafts in Indonesia, including wood carving, pottery, silverwork, batik, songket bambu, wayang, and many more. And that's all. Thank you.
Is the answer
Maybe
for you, Mr.?
maybe from another member from group B can add some answer.
Yes, group 2, you may add your question, your answer.
Well, from my knowledge and also my opinion, I agree with what Farah said. Indonesia is unique because of its, well, colors, traditional dances, and also some pottery, wood carving, and also batik. It is very well known, even internationally. Batik. So yeah, that's about it mostly.
Is the answer enough for you, Mr. Iwan?
Okay, thank you, Karisa. Nothing further. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for your questions, and I'd like to give a round of applause for the presenters for answering the questions very professionally. So yeah, since all the questions have been answered by presenters, before I give this session to Masha, I'd like to conclude of this video conference. For me, I think in the context of technology, I think we have to embrace the technology, but being aware of its negativity and misuse of the technology is very important. And then for culture, I think everyone needs to embrace and protect culture in the world at all costs. Now, thanks for joining to all the participants. I'd like to give this back to the host, Masha Parichan. The time is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, Carissa. Well, that's such an amazing performance, isn't it? I hope all of you enjoyed. And before I end this meeting, let us take a picture. So I beg you to open your camera and give us a big smile. I'll take the picture in 3, 2, 1. Then, okay, once more. 3, 2, 1. Okay, done. Thank you so much for today and see you next time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Guys, Miss Theo will say something. So before you close, that's better. The teachers give command. Okay, Miss Theo, will you say something for this meeting?
Yes, of course, Miss. So can you hear my voice? Sorry. I have to move because it's too crowded there. Hello. Okay. So thanks a lot for the opportunity. Then yeah, hello. Katanya. Okay, so good luck guys.
finally that you did your best, and I really appreciate it about your performance. Everything goes well, and then but I have to give some no what is called that, a little comment, yeah, about your performance. Uh, the first one is maybe that you have a problem with the network. Hiram, right? Hiram and Narwa. Yeah, it's not too clear enough to hear your
Yes.
voice.
Yeah, Naura means not
Yeah.
not Narwa. It's Naura.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the connection in
Right.
this room is so bad, miss. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. PowerPoint your presentation, and then the topic is put more picture there, especially for example. Okay. Yeah, yeah, you can what is called that? You can put words that, but ah,
Okay, I think we lost Miss Theo voice. Miss, there's problem with your connection out there, same as us, like here. We are near, but the field is so far. Are you still mute your microphone, Miss Theo?
sorry. I have the same problem with you guys. Yeah, so that's about a network. And then the second one is you late to sign attendance list. Maybe next time for the next performance that you have to remember to send it. Okay. And then ah culture. I don't know about your accent, yeah, but most of you say it culture. Yeah, so I don't know. It's yeah, English is too many in many countries, but I I know it culture. Okay, and then social and what else? Country. Yeah, and for the rest, I think that's good. Good job. And what else? Two thumbs up for you. Thank you, Miss Chika.
How about Mr. Ishak? We will you say something again for the closing? Or is it enough for you?
Okay, I think I will repeat my opinion about this two group presentation. First
Okay,
of all,
sir.
yeah, because I what is it, as a what do you call it, adjudicator.
Yes, adjudicator.
Oh, adjudicator. Sorry.
Yeah.
My English is from Celodong, so you must understand my pronounce. Okay. Yeah, I think these two group make a very excellent, very solid presentation for what is it? Because I already in as your as now, maybe in around 1999. What is it? 99 in my high school. I think it's very totally different with some of you in this class. So I think it's a very good indicator that you will be someone in the future. Well, I think because I as a adjudicator, yeah. I see but the manner, and the method, but the content, I think that's enough. Maybe you can make some adjustment about how big the font, and I think you don't have to bring all the sentence or the word to your presentation. Only maybe keyword for your presentation, and then you can explain it in the presentation. And about the manner, I think all of you in this Zoom, I think far as that I see, you are doing great. You respect all your team, all your group, that your friends, that presentation. I think it's very good attitude for you all. And about the method, I think yeah, you can make it some upgrading, and then maybe you learn a lot of things after this, and you will make a better presentation in the future. Maybe that's it, Ms. Chika, but overall, you all doing great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you
Whose
so
voice?
much, sir.
Whose voice it is, Miss?
It's, I think there is a someone calling. I don't know what that. Okay, thank you so much, sir, for the comment, and also Miss Theo. Okay, so guys, for the first Pesat Speaks Up meeting is done. Give applause for all of you. Okay. But it's not enough for all of you. You still have 4 weeks later for 8 group left. So see you next week, and the next group must be better than today. Okay? See you next week. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.